We're live. We're live, baby. It's
Woo.
Mental Health Monday
Start of a new week.
with your boys, the Chase and Shep Show, helping you get your mind right. I
Guru Cash.
I don't feel prepared because Shep and I have been having our own little Super Saturday here for the past like 30 minutes, talking all sorts of superhero stuff. So we're a little off topic jumping into this today.
Yeah, just a little bit. It's no big deal.
Just a little bit. Let's get this popping. Let's Corey.
Hey, what up, Corey?
So Guru cashed.
Post Valentine's Day blues
It's
today.
post Valentine's Day, and not only that, it's the snowiest of days. Yeah, everybody's trapped inside.
It's the most snow we've had in a long while.
Ready to die on my way to work tomorrow. Well,
I feel you, man. Try
Both-
not to.
Try not to.
That's what I'm gonna try not to die on my way to work tomorrow.
I have to leave for work tomorrow. I'm gonna be right here. My poor little car. I won't do it. I won't do it to my little car. But yeah, for those of you living in snowy areas like ourselves, stay safe out there. Stay warm.
It's pretty much everywhere. Like in the United States, it's like from where we're at, probably all the way down to Texas, I think, is getting snow right now. Yeah, parts of Texas.
It snowed in Texas.
They are. They actually like someone on my Facebook post that, and it was somebody that just moved down into Texas, that everything was closed down there for 5 inches of snow total.
Yeah, that's a true story. Having grown up in Tennessee, there were times where we would have snow days, and by the end of the day, we were out in like t-shirts on our bicycles. Like you could see the grass through the snow. Like when they're like, "Yeah, shut the town down. It's an emergency." Like the South just isn't prepared for it like we are.
Well, no, I mean down there, like in Texas, they probably don't even have salt or plows,
right?
Because they don't need that shit. Why have it?
Exactly.
But this is why you need it. You need to be prepared, ladies and gentlemen.
Be prepared.
And welcome to Mental Health Monday. We're going to talk about being prepared for situations in life today.
Even I fell for it. That was a segue right there. I'm intrigued. If I was just watching this show, I'd subscribe. I'd subscribe after that. Being prepared, which I was not today for this. I was napping.
I knew it was coming. I just thought, okay, I thought it was going to be a lot more overnight last night. So when I was driving to work this morning, I was actually surprised that it wasn't that terrible out. Yeah. I could at least, when I was driving to work, I was going like 55, surprisingly. But then I just had to sit at work all day, watch the snow come down, watch other people leaving, because they gotta go, and just being like, man. And then finally I gotta leave, and then it was like, oh, it's not that bad. It wasn't as bad when I was driving. The worst spots I hit was my town. I feel like our snowplows city guys are just waiting at home for this shit to be done, and then we'll get out and plow it. They're just like, fuck it right now.
That's kind of how it felt when I ran to the store this morning. It felt like they were just kind of like, fuck it. We'll get to this when it's over, because there's going to be a lot more of this. So,
well, and in the forecast, it looks like there's going to be another round on Wednesday.
Yeah,
of snow.
Yeah. Lots of snow this week.
Yeah, and it sucks, man, because I saw a little special for some tattoos. I kind of wanted to hit them up and get a little appointment book to grab a little couple tattoos, but like with the weather,
yeah, can't be frolicking about in this kind of weather, But on the note of being prepared, we talked about the whole grocery store thing. At this point, I don't know if it's just pure laziness or what, but I'm always getting food elsewhere, like from restaurants and shit. And At this point, I've been telling myself for days, like, man, you need to go to the grocery store and just get yourself some groceries. So even though I'm running around all the time, you should still get yourself some groceries. I'm like, it's fine. I'm always running around. It ain't a big deal. Well, then a snowstorm hits, and it's just like it's one of those situations where it's like your mom always telling you to take your coat with you. When you get in the car, it's like, oh, I don't need it. It's like, yeah, but take it with you in case the car breaks down. It's like, yeah, real talk. Yeah, so I should
See,
have gone to the grocery store. I should have gone to the
yeah,
grocery store.
I went yesterday. I braved the cold yesterday and went out. Only run I made yesterday out to the store, grabbed some stuff to drink, some shit to eat, and then back. And then yeah, I'm really glad I did, because right now I wouldn't like Monday nights, my wrestling nights. Usually by the time we're done with that, I go holler at my boy Pudgy. We go in Raw, Monday Night Raw. And hell, even then I'm thinking about hollering at him and being like, I guess not this week, man, because it's just shitty out.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. It's still snowing, like hard, hard.
I mean, even then, it's like my town's really small. You don't even have to drive fast in it. So, I mean, I could easily go over to his place, but it's like I just don't even feel like getting out.
Yeah, I don't blame you. The fact that like that's part of it for me tomorrow. Even if it's not snowing anymore tomorrow, if they don't get those roads cleared up, I might not be feeling up to the whole going and digging my car out of the pile of snow it's become. Like it's a lot. It's a lot. Like I'm gonna need something quite substantial to get me out of my home, I
We're
suppose.
talking this. I'm going to look at the road conditions around us right now. Terrible.
Terrible, terrible, unpassable.
Champaign says it's partly covered, but I believe that's a lie.
It's
Mostly,
pretty, like I said, I
mostly covered.
hard time opening my door.
But where I'm from, it says it's completely covered. So we win, motherfucker.
On another note of being prepared on my end, again, a lot of me not being prepared, it seems. This is a good mental health Monday for me. So thanks, Guru Cash, for setting me on my path, getting me straightened out.
Namaste.
Because I dropped the ball on old Valentine's sleigh, on bringing the people their Valentine's sleigh. But at a certain point, I had to make a decision, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna break everybody. The ultimate Valentine's sleigh. I'm gonna slay everybody's hearts. I'm not gonna give it to them. I'm not gonna give it to them. I'm gonna stand everybody up on Valentine's Day.
We said it. I said it on
It's
the
cold.
Facebook.
It's icy, but
I said it on the Facebook. I said, don't rip anybody's hearts out, and then you rip everybody's hearts out.
yeah.
The ultimate heel.
It was
the ultimate heel move.
Nobody saw coming, But we do have some sleigh stuff coming up. So, and honestly, I'm kind of excited to start getting into it, to break out of these winter blues. Today I was thinking about, you know what, the polar the polar opposite of the snowy day would be like some island movies and stuff like that. And I was like, that sounds dope. Get my screen break on now,
Do whatever you got to do.
So who knows? I might be like, well, yeah, I might be like Jack Frost too in this bitch. Fucking on vacation.
Go on vacation. Go to the
permanently frozen.
I'd love to get away right now if it wasn't for the snow and COVID. Man, it would be nice to go somewhere warm if I had money to do that.
Yeah, I know. I'm sure my dad's sitting at home right now. I'm sure he's been bitching all day about how he'd rather be in Florida all day. I am sure at some point today that has come out of my father's mouth. I am positive. I feel it in the universe. It's out there.
I feel I need to be more south, dude. I need to be at like the Bahamas or somewhere. I need to be closer to that equator.
See, I don't like no heat though.
I do. I do. I'm a big fan.
I don't know. Weirdly, it's like I got a love hate relationship with these weather conditions. What can I say? What can I say?
I've got to completely hate like that's how it is with this. I hate this cold. I hate the snow.
Essentially, if I could be like a cabin dweller, like if I could like live up in the mountains and shit, and this was like the all the time, but like, see, the thing is, I don't have to go nowhere. That's fine. Like that's fine. Snow all the fuck you want. Be as shitty as you want outside. Sometimes I might gear up. I might go outside and might chop some firewood or something, you know. But otherwise, I got no reason to go drive about or nothing. So fuck it. I don't mind. I don't mind. But I don't. I live in an urban setting that I have to fucking I have to fucking drive places. And so I do prefer a little bit of warmth.
I just I don't know, man. If I lived in a place where I never had to see a snowflake, I would not be at all mad. I'd be like, cool, that's great. Fuck the snow. Fuck ice.
I don't know though. I've lived some places where like there's just been no snow, and sometimes I'm just like, fuck. I wish I could have had a little snow. You know, just a little.
I
Gotta
wish.
gotta appreciate these things sometimes.
No,
You don't know what you have till it's gone.
when I was in boot camp and I met a kid from Hawaii that's never seen snow, I was like, I wish I was you. I wish I was coming at a place that I was like, I've never ever seen snow before. But here I am. I was like, this is completely normal. I live 2 hours south of here. Completely normal.
Yeah. So being prepared.
Being prepared.
Being prepared. I'm not very prepared at all today.
Well, in this kind of weather, like
it seems just.
I mean, if you want to talk in weather, we're talking preparedness for like survival preparedness. Right now, like, okay, let's talk me tomorrow. If I'm going to work, if I decide I wake up and I'm like, I'm going to work tomorrow, probably going to pack up a blanket, probably going to bag up some water and stuff on my way out. Shit like that, just in case. You never know. You know what my biggest fear is about driving? And that's that I'll go like off the road into the ditch and I'll have to take a shit or something. You know what I'm saying though? Like, I know it's funny, but and like, yeah, because my luck,
like you mean after you've already like you just mean you're stranded there, and the time. I got you.
That would be my luck.
I hit the ditch and now I have to shit my pants. Like
no, it'd be like I'd go off into the ditch and I'd be like fuck, and I'd be sitting there like damn, that was crazy, and then you just get that in your stomach, and I'd be like, oh, not right now, like and I have to, you know, and that's my luck, and I feel like I'd have to make that call at some point to be like, either I'm holding this or I'm gonna make some brown snow real quick, you know. I don't know.
The things that keep you up at night, you know.
So preparedness, ladies and gentlemen, you might want to keep little napkins, maybe some wet wipes. They got some to-go shit, just in case. You don't know what's going to happen if you're in the ditch. Okay, you don't know what's going to happen. You might have to take a shit.
Might have to take a ditch shit. It happens.
You might have to feed the raccoons, as we called it back at home.
Oh man,
they'll come, but they'll snatch it up. It's all good. Some animal will come snatch it up. Animals are into that kind of shit. You don't got to worry about it. You see what I said there? But I mean, for real though, like maybe bring some snacks with you. You know, something. You never know, man. Like because
you don't know what might happen. You might get stuck in the ditch.
for a while. They might have a lot of people on the list. They might be like, "Okay, homie, we got you added, but it's pretty
You're on
far down
you're on
there.
the you're on the queue.
You're in the queue."
Yeah.
There was my sleepy time alarm.
I yeah. I was like, I think mine went off. It did. It woke me up earlier. from a nap. Uh yeah, having this little snow day today. I can see where some people might be a little unprepared in some other senses too. Might be, sometimes maybe you have some plans, but sometimes life forces you to be alone sometimes. Some people have a hard time with that. Some people really go fucking batshit, even if it's like one day of like snowed, and like some people just can't handle it. But
You might get on the flip side of that situation though.
where
And you
people
might be in a situation that I found myself in like a month ago, if you don't recall, where you go over to somebody else's house, maybe a, a love interest
right,
that's like, I know it's gonna snow, so come on over. And then once you do, and the weather's completely shit, then they
right.
decide, I think I might want some alone time or something like that, and you're kind of fucked.
You're like, oh, I guess I'll go to the other corner of the room then, I suppose. So for
I
all of
guess I'll
so for
die.
all of it, because I mean, to put it into perspective, because we always say here in Chase and Shep, it's all about perspective. Uh, yeah, you may have been single yesterday on Valentine's Day, but just think that you're not the person who got stuck in the fight from yesterday and is still there frozen in the snow. Who's still trapped somewhere with their significant other fighting right now. And you didn't have to deal with that yesterday because you were single. So don't be so hard on yourself.
And
Uh,
if you are right now in that situation, man, that sucks, man.
sorry, man, bundle
Damn.
up. I think if you go slow, you might be able to make it.
But like,
Life
I
is all
would.
also all about decisions. So choose your path.
You're willing to die over this, I'd
Yeah,
say
you
go.
will. Are you willing to brave the wilderness or
Well, see, I was today because it was getting a little bad when I had to get off work. My grandfather lives not too terribly far from work.
mhm.
Obviously, I know like you that lives right beside my work. If it was that bad that I was like, I can't make it home, got options. But
Right.
it's like, I'm up here. I only have my work clothes. That's it. It's
Mhm.
like I got nothing else. So I was like, I can't. It's like my mom was texting me and like, you could have just went to your grandpa's. I'm like, Mom, like I couldn't have though. She's like, well, he's got a washer and dryer. I'm like, what am I supposed to do for underwear if I'm washing my underwear? You know what I mean? Like sit
Plastic stuff,
there at
perhaps.
at grandpa's, like just don't look at me.
You got a robe.
I was like, nah. I was like, I made it home. I'm safe. I was like, if the roads are bad tomorrow, they're bad. If they're not, they're not. I don't know. It's like I'll do kind of what I did today and just go. I'll just try for it. All you can do is try, guys.
You can do is try.
And if it seems bad, I don't really know though, because like that's what I thought this morning when I was leaving. It was like once I leave my town, there's no real turning around point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like if I turn off the main road there, it's nothing but country roads, not at all plowed.
Oh yeah.
So once you get going, you're kind of like you got to make that call. Basically, we got a police station, the north part of my town, and by that point, you got to make the call. Like, are you gonna go for this or not? Because if you're gonna go, you got to go. Because it's not like you can just whip a U-turn.
Yeah.
Um,
If you're leaving, you're gone. You ain't coming
yeah,
back.
yeah, and it's like, um, I don't know, man. I don't really know. It gives you anxiety when you think about it. Like tonight it gives you anxiety. I wish I was one of those people that
Mhm.
they gracefully was like, "Don't worry about coming to work. You're good." I wish
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
I
If I was in a position where I was, like still working at the store or something like that, and like I was expected to come into work tomorrow, I'd also be feeling very anxious about it right now. I'd be contemplating in my head, like, you know what? I've probably already made the decision I'm going to call out because there's no fucking way I'm going to traverse these lands to come to whatever fucking job.
Like I said,
But
I'm always one of those that's open. Like, all right, I'll try.
mhm,
Like, but I mean, I can't. I don't know. Like I said, I have to make a call at a certain point because
yeah,
there's a point for me. There's a point of no return, and what good is it going to be for either of us if I'm in a ditch?
right, exactly,
None.
exactly.
Like, because now you're out, me being there, and now I'm in the middle of a ditch, maybe cold as fuck. Who knows? Especially um with this storm in particular,
Hmm.
and with the temperatures that are around it, with it like with the wind out there being minus degrees.
Hmm.
Like, come on, man.
Yeah, I and maybe I'm a heathen for spreading this kind of mentality here, but to me, that's why I never really like hesitate to call out when I've worked jobs and stuff, because to me, like in a situation like today, because there are a lot of people who are anxious about it, a lot of people who have that anxiety of they're very afraid of the weather conditions, like truly, like they really don't want to drive, they don't know what might happen, but they're also afraid of losing their jobs if they call out and stuff, so there's just this dueling anxiety there.
Oh
But
yeah, man.
at the end of the day, you definitely need to take care of yourself. Like if the business you work for loses a few bucks in sales that day, and as a result you don't die, or whatever, and maybe you don't, maybe everything goes according to plan, but uh I just think the risk factor to the reward, it's a
I
corporation,
mean,
it'll be fine, your life
I,
means more
I
than the
for
money.
me personally, I think it all plays into this theme that was, gracefully plopped onto us today of being prepared. And that's that businesses could prepare in advance for this in their hiring process, to be
Hmm.
trying to hire people that are within this store, that these people do know, hey, we live in an environment here in central Illinois that
Hmm.
we could have extreme weather. If there is extreme weather that comes in, we're going to need you, even if it's your off day, to come into work over somebody out of town.
Right.
Like, we're going to contact that person out of town and be like, so and so is going to cover your shift. You're fine. Just stay off. Like, you could easily do that and
I mean,
ensure everybody's safety.
kind of to back that up, um years ago when I was a cook at Hooters, the manager there at the time, it was a real shitty snowy week like this, and he went around in his little SUV and picked up the cooks and the Hooters girls, and he came and got our asses. And so, hey man, all right, like if you're gonna come and get me, like I'll come and work, man. No doubt.
No, yeah, I never hesitated on that
Yeah,
shit either. When it was me, like,
absolutely.
I'd pick somebody up.
But that's some, yeah.
Like me, I don't care.
That's
Like,
more a little more prepared, like what you're saying. Like,
yeah,
you
well,
gotta
like you
expect
got
certain
to.
things.
Well, and like for me, that's why like it's probably like I got to cancel the wrestling tonight because like I should go to bed probably early because I should get up earlier and try to go. Like I said, if I'm in an attempt to go to work, I don't care if I got to drive like 45. You know what I mean, to get
Mhm.
up there. It is what it is to
Good.
me. Um,
Ain't nothing wrong
but
with it. Slow.
nah. And so like, it's just one of those, to me, you got to be prepared. You can't just leave at the same time you'd always leave and then be like shit.
Hmm.
Unless you're in one of those situations where you do check the weather and it said it's going to be clear and you go to bed and wake up and a lot of snow dropped and you're like, wait,
Yeah.
didn't say it was going to do this. I've had that happen before.
Um, in kind of what we were talking about earlier about me needing to go to the store. all of this has made me realize that, not only do I need to be prepared, but like there's been like at least two things that I've been putting them off, which is going to the grocery store and going and doing my laundry. Because with the laundry situation, I'm like, well, I still have clothes to wear. You know what I mean? Like it is what it is, and the laundry's kind of been piling up. Well, then this kind of the snow day hits. And it's things like this that you don't really bank on. It's like I've been telling myself, oh, I'll get to it, I'll get to it, I'll get to it. Well, sometimes you don't get that chance to get to it. You know what I mean? Uh, so definitely, I had to take a lesson. I had to take a hit today.
Well, because it's kind of like had you have just gotten to it, maybe not even have folded it and put it away, but at
And
least
it should
washed
have,
it.
honestly,
Then
it could have just taken a day to
today,
go.
well,
Like
today would be a day that you could fold and put away everything since you ain't going nowhere.
yeah, exactly. Well, it needs washed, and
Well, I mean, like
I have to take it somewhere to go and do that.
yeah.
But
I mean, like, had you already done that and
oh,
just like set it off to the
exactly,
side?
exactly, exactly. And it's one of those things. It's just very simple, and I kept putting it off. Same as the grocery store. Like it's literally go make the trip, and it makes your whole week, month, fucking better. It's easier on the wallet. It's easier on your mind. It's easier on your health if you just go to the grocery store right now. Keep putting it off, and then it snows, and then you've got nothing to eat in your house. So you best turn to your non-perishables. Fucking eat some beans. Fucking do what you got to do.
Yeah, I'm not a bean fan, but I got some non-perishables that I bought at the beginning of the COVID. So I got some shit I could eat if need be. I got some corned beef hash.
But definitely a lesson in not putting things off. In a sadder example of that, and this isn't as recent. This was quite some time ago. There was a man I knew who was a professor out at UCLA, and he taught like theater and acting and stuff. And he was the teacher to several celebrities like Cal Penn that played Kumar, Jack Black, Matthew Lillard that plays Shaggy in the live action Scooby Doo, Tim Robbins, like all sorts of people. Like he was their teacher, and so I got to know this guy for a brief amount of time, and he would email me, and I remember he emailed me, I think maybe for my birthday or something one year, and I kept meaning to email him back, and I kept putting it off, and I was just like, no, I need to do that. I need to send him an email just to be, just to get back to him, just to communicate with him. Well, he died shortly after. So that was really one of those situations in my life where I was like, yeah, sometimes tomorrow's not there.
Yeah.
Sometimes you really you can't be putting shit off, and clearly it's still something that I need to work on.
I mean, I've had that happen in life, for sure. One of my best friends, just fading out. You know what I mean? Over time,
Yeah,
living apart, living a couple hours apart, fading out, and living life, growing up. And it was the day after his birthday, and I was about to go to work. I'll never forget, man. And I was sitting there getting ready, and I was like, damn, it was Chris's birthday yesterday. Fuck. Because I always remembered it because we both had April birthdays, but his was on the beginning and mine's at the end. His was April 2nd, mine was April 28th. And it was like April 3rd. And I was like, damn, Chris's birthday was yesterday. I can't believe I didn't call him, man. That's fucked up. And when I was at work, one of my other buddies from St. Louis, he called me up, and I was like busy at the time. So I just like, hit dash that, hit it on the phone to, send it to voicemail and send him a message. I'm like, yo, I'm at work. Let me call you back in a little bit. And he hit me back, and he's just like, yo, Chris took his life last night. And I was like, damn. Because like I had planned, like, damn, when I get off work tonight, I'm gonna have to call that fool up and be like, damn, it was your birthday yesterday.
Yeah.
Like, I can't believe you let me forget. And it had been like a year since we had talked at that point, so it sucked. Like you're saying, like, waiting just like a day too long. It's like, damn, had I remembered his birthday on his birthday.
Yeah.
I could have called him on his birthday, and that could have been, you know, that's one of those things at the time, man. This was fucking years ago, but at the time, that's what always fucked with me because it was like, shit, you never know. Out of
Yeah.
everybody you talked to that day, um, especially like getting the story and hearing like what happened with him and all that stuff, and hearing that he did call a lot of people and he was talking to a lot of people wanting to hang out. It was his birthday and everybody was busy. You know, we was all, you know, grown up, had jobs and shit. And it was like, you know, one of them birthdays on like a Tuesday.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and so like, just like, damn, bro, you never know what could have happened of, you know, having one of his buddies he hadn't talked to in like a year calling him up and where his head was at. And, you know, I had my own place at the time. I could have been like, bro, come up here. You ain't got a job or nothing. Get up here. What are you doing? Like, come get out of there for a while. Come get your head right. Get in a new space, you know, shit like that. But, you know, it's one of those things that after a while you just have to realize like everything just played out the way they were supposed to play out, man. Like, um, I still got to meet him, and we still got to build and experience this beautiful part of life that'll never. This is something that Adventure Time actually helped me like cope with. You know that like no matter what, that time will always be there. Uh,
Hmm.
you know, nothing at all can ever change that. You go back, you get a time machine, whatever you want to do. You go back to those days. It's there. It'll be happening forever.
Yeah.
And so you definitely do got to make the time with people while you have it, and you got to realize that a lot of these things that have happened with me and the people who've been close to me have allowed me to be able to do that. I do catch myself, especially with the relationships and
Hmm.
um the way everybody is with them these days, I guess. And I'm one of those that like I do kind of make my own time in my own head while things just, you know, maybe just chilling, laying around or something, to just be like, I really enjoy this moment, you know, like I like this because I know this shit ain't gonna last forever.
Right.
And it never
Yeah.
does. So it never does. So
I know exactly what you mean. Yeah, like right now, I got a great grandmother whose health has been declining, but it's one of those things that I was a little more prepared, I suppose. I think the thing with Gary and the email just kind of, and then later my grandpa passed, and I remember kind of feeling a little bit like, man, I wished I went and saw him more often. Like, I think, well, yeah, no, I mean, I had my driver's license at that time, so I was really like, yeah, man, I wish I had went and seen him more often, because he lived kind of farther, like on the outskirts of town and stuff. Uh, and so with my great grandmother now, like I've stopped, and I always make a point to, like, uh, you know, I always joke around about going and doing my laundry over at my parents' house and stuff. With this being the first apartment I've had that doesn't have a washer and dryer in it, uh, you know, people always want to make the jokes and stuff. But at the end of the day, truly, I enjoy having to go do my laundry over there because it gives me an opportunity to go and see my family. Like,
yeah,
at least once a week, I'm going and I'm seeing my family. And I like to make my rounds, like especially when the weather's nicer, like because most of my extended family lives in like a little 45-minute bubble. So I make the rounds. I see my older relatives, and so a lot of my life I stopped in and visited with my great grandmother a lot. And so I can't say when she passes that I will have regretted, not spending enough time with her or nothing like that. You know.
yeah, I feel you. I do need to start taking more time to go spend with my gramps. He always points like, come on, stop by sometime and shit like that. I know he wants people to hang out with too. But it's funny because I did have a conversation this morning with somebody about my gram, who she passed away like 5 years ago,
Hmm.
I think, about roughly, give or take. But we were talking about how like when I first started working at my job that I got now, I was a cashier and it was cold as fuck up
Hmm.
there. and I had moved back from Florida. That's where I lived beforehand. So I really didn't have any like sweatshirts and all this kind of shit.
Right.
I was not at all prepared. So I was over at my grandparents' house. I'd go over to their house before I went to work, and like I was broke as fuck, and shit, and cook something to eat or grab a little something to eat, see what they had. Before I went into work, and I was complaining to my gram, like, damn, it's so fucking cold up in there. And she was like, here, just take one of my she had like long underwear type sweater thing. She's
Mhm.
like, just take one of mine. I was like scrawny and shit. I was all in better shape at the time. So I could fit it. And now that she passed away, that's something that I still got of
Mhm.
hers. That's like one of those things that's like cool to be able to wear and put on. And it's like out of all my clothing that I got, I ain't gonna get rid of that one and shit like that. It's a connection I got
Yeah.
with her. And I don't know, like I had like what you talk about. I had my similar situation with my great grandpa when he passed away, but I was young. Um, and I was just in that phase. I really wish I did go spend a lot more time with him because I did when he had gotten cancer. I had helped him a fuck ton in like my earlier teens, like 14, 15, 16. It wasn't until I moved, until like when I was down in St. Louis, and like me and the boys down there, we got into like doing experimenting around with this and that drugs and stuff
Mhm.
like that. And it was just, we were dealing a lot at the time with mortality too. Like that's when we started learning, like getting into the dark crafts and the black magics type things and Ouija boards and haunted places and stuff. We really started questioning life and stuff like that. So when my great grandfather's like passing away from cancer, um, it just like scared me. So I just avoided it at all costs I could.
Yeah.
That's one of the things that I wish I hadn't have done. But at the same time, now that I'm older, like the memories that I have of them aren't those nasty, last few months of when cancer takes
Right.
somebody's life that you got. So at the same time, it's like a yin yang, it's like you kind of regret a little bit that you
Yeah.
didn't spend those last few months and as much time as you could with somebody, but at the same time, the memories that I have with him
Well,
are
because
of him.
on the flip side of that, for me with my grandpa, I did see him one more time, and I actually, that's kind of the bigger regret. Sometimes I wished I hadn't gone and seen him that last time. Sometimes, I wish I still got to see just my grandpa when I
Yeah.
think of him, and not that what he looked like that last time I saw him. That was hard. I just remember not even being able to stay in the room because it
Yeah.
was so hard to see him like that.
No,
Uh,
and I feel like I totally would have had that same response had I went and tried to see him during that time period. And like afterwards, like I said, and I was really questioning a lot at that time. And I'll never
yeah,
forget, like, not too terribly long after he had passed away, having dreams where he was in them and stuff. But it was, that memory that I had since I was a, very young child of my great grandfather. It wasn't some like gross memory of him, like, ooh.
well, and something I was gonna say to tie this in with being prepared again is that when things like this happen, whether they be major things like deaths or just any sort of bad thing in life, you know, you can choose to let it ruin your life and let it consume you, or you can learn from that and you can become more prepared for the next time. Like I said, with the thing with my grandpa, the thing with Gary, these were my first encounters with death in my life. And I could have just I could to this day still be upset about it. uh some people do that, but I am more prepared for things. That's why I spend more time with people. I am now more prepared to deal with things like that because I've gone through it. So,
Yeah.
sometimes those bad experiences they're not all bad. They're not all bad.
No. No, you can definitely find light in every situation when you look for it.
Hmm.
And I feel that like a lot of these situations I've been through, yeah, like I said, the older I get, the worse it gets, which sucks. But I mean, it's a fact of life because
Hmm.
the older we get, the more people around us are going to pass away.
Yeah.
The more situations are going to change. The world's going to keep changing around you. Maybe you're not going to be progressing as fast as the world is.
Hmm.
Um, when you're young, it's easy to be like, no, I am. But trust me, like I'm in my almost to mid 30s now. I feel like once I hit 34, I guess I can consider myself mid 30s. Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
there's plenty of things around me that change that I'm like, I know nothing at all fucking about that, but I'm not one of them guys that claim to. So at the same time, it's just like I just let it be. I let it do its own thing because I'm in my own bubble, my fucking self over here. You know, I'm doing my own
Yeah.
thing. As you can tell with these mental health Mondays, we're getting your mind right. We're telling you our situations, but we've gotten through them. Like I've gotten over my buddy's death from back then. I made a song about it, you know, and shit. Like that's the therapy I chose to go through to get it out and come to grips with it. To be like, I'm not all right with what he did. I don't think that was the coolest thing to do. Uh, but I feel like just like that, if I ever got to see him again, I think that's all I'd say. I'd be like, I just don't think that was a very cool thing to do, my guy. I think I would have not done that because like you didn't get to see Endgame, you didn't get to see Batman versus Superman,
Right. Right.
like those for me personally, those are enough things. Like when I'm laying in bed at night, having my thoughts, those are enough to keep me going, to be like, but I won't know what happens at the end of this shit.
Yeah, that's
um
it's an honest fact for sure. I mean, I'm the same way with the MCU stuff. Like it genuinely does keep me, and that's what I said in 2020. Like the two things that were constant in my life, pretty much substantially since like 2007, 2008, were the MCU and having a girlfriend, and both of those things stopped the very same year. I had my breakup in October of 2019, and that whole time there was no Marvel, there was no women, and I'm just like, what is life? I don't have anything to look forward to at this point. So I'm glad the old MCU is back in full swing because it gets me up out of bed every Friday.
I mean, and it's like, I mean, you got to, and it's easy to see, just taking a look at the world around, how people can fall off that path and cannot have these things,
Yeah,
or not find the joy in them. Be like, yeah, I don't fucking care. It's whatever. Um, and it's just about finding what it is that, like you just said, get you out of bed in the morning.
yeah,
And if what you're doing isn't it, then there's endless possibilities out there, my man. Like, go try something else.
truly.
Nobody's gonna
Yeah,
fucking
you
nobody
can do
that
whatever
counts
you
is
want.
well, nobody's that counts is gonna fault you for failing.
Hmm. Exactly, exactly.
They're gonna be like, damn, you tried, you failed.
And you know
It's
what?
about
Now you're better prepared.
well, yeah, you're better prepared, but it's all about how you bounce back.
Exactly. Bounce back.
And preparation comes with that.
Hmm.
And a lot of that, it goes into all aspects of our life. You got to be prepared for shit. You got to be prepared for shit to hit the fan. You got to be prepared for everything to go to shit. you
Hmm.
know there's a lot of preparedness that I think that we got to genuinely keep up with.
Yeah.
You And it sucks, but it's the world we live in.
My motto forever has been hope for the best, expect the worst. I think that's the best way you could possibly be prepared for anything because your expectations are going to be set just right. You're hoping for something dope to turn out, but you're expecting it to turn out
Well, see,
as the worst case scenario. So when
I
it does,
think
it's pretty satisfying.
I think where all this shit came from me is it spawned from my love for like the horror genre and specifically getting into like the zombie genre.
Hmm.
And like me and my friends would like always, kid around and stuff when we was teenagers and be like, oh, make our zombie preparedness list and like what we're going to do, zombie evacuations, this and that. And that just kind of something that since I was so young when I was doing that with all of them, just kind of stuck with me to where like nowadays when I go out with my buddies on a fucking Friday night and like in my head I'm like, well, I got work tomorrow. It's Friday night, so I'm just gonna go out till about 9 o'clock. I still will see myself bringing a bag with my work clothes, with the phone charger, with my work shoes, and this and that, just in fucking case
You know,
something happens to where I get stuck up there. I stay out late. I got to crash at someone's house. I'm a single dude. Maybe I meet somebody. Maybe some shit goes good. You never know.
never know.
And I do that. And I think that's weird too, because I'll also do that. Like if I have a date with somebody, I do that kind of shit. But like, it's not expected. It's not like I want that, like, oh, hell yeah. But it's like, well, shit, if shit gets good and we're hanging out late and they're like, just crash here, it's like, well, shit, cool. At least I brought a bag. I got a phone charger and shit like that.
Yeah.
You won't catch me unprepared, is what it is. It's not like that's expected. And I'm like sitting there with my bag, like, I'm staying the night, right, girl? No.
Right. Yeah.
Nine times out of 10, I don't even say that I have a bag out there. I just keep it out in my car. And then, like, if shit goes good, I'm like, it's all good. Like, I'll figure something out. And it's like, because in my head, I'm like, well, shit, I got my phone charger outside and I got my work clothes. So, like, I'll just change in the parking lot before I go to work. It's all good. I'll just pull something out. Yeah, I found some work shirt or something in the back of my truck. It's crazy. Just letting all my secrets out here at the end of my Mental Health Monday.
Right.
If you've stuck with us this long, maybe you can get some good tips here.
So that you can be prepared for your
so that you can be prepared for your next date or anything.
Valentine's Day date didn't go so well. Now you can be better prepared for your next one.
Mine didn't even like. You could have fooled me that it was Valentine's Day yesterday.
I thought I might end up kicking it with somebody, and then I was like, you know what, fuck it. If I'm not gonna get hit back, then I must go spoil Phil. I guess Phil's getting dinner. We were gonna go hit up a movie, but we just weren't feeling it by the time that time rolled around, I guess. So,
yeah,
it happens. It happened. We brought down and chilled out, and nothing wrong with that on Valentine's Day.
I spent it with my biggest love, which was myself. So I couldn't complain at all. Like I said, I'm not really upset that there's no significant other around. I didn't have to spend money on anything. I didn't have to plan a gift or a day or anything special for somebody, or cook a dinner, or take one out to dinner, or fucking.
See, I feel two different kinds of ways about that. Because on the one hand, I am grateful that I didn't have to stress about any of that stuff yesterday. Like I've maybe had to in the past. But on the other hand, I really wanted somebody to just spoil yesterday. Like I really wanted to just be like, like let me just. It's just been a minute, I guess. So I was just like, fuck, I could go for just like treating somebody right now. It's like, you want dinner? You want to do this? You want to do that? Let's do it to it. But
see, I guess compared to my last year's Valentine's Day, I think that this one was a little bit better.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I'm not one to let Valentine's Day really get to me like that. It's just.
Well, no, I mean, like, I'd rather, like, for me personally, I'd rather be by myself than over some fake shit. Which, like, a year ago was that, like, I hung out with this girl that she just broke up with her dude while he was in jail over the weekend, and was hanging out with me on Valentine's Day, and I had to wait for her to get out off work, which is at a bar, so it was like fucking midnight and shit like that. And it was just like, this is whack, dude. This isn't that.
The world's Valentine's story.
Very sketchy. Very, very, very sketchy story, my man. It's what we don't like to talk about over at it's like it's like even the Ouija board on the wall doesn't fucking want to mention this story. It's like it just goes right to no. Goodbye.
No.
Nope, and then points to goodbye, like, nope, we're not talking about that one. It's almost like I've never watched Harry Potter, but the one that we don't mention. I think there's a character in that. Is he who hasn't
been named?
Yeah, that's it. This is just a whole story that must not be told.
You were about to, though. You were about to die.
I told I told a little bite.
Told enough.
That's all you get. That's all you ever
No,
get.
damn it.
I get a little bite. You can go through all my songs and you can fucking piece together the rest, I'm sure, over multiple songs and shit. And Facebook posts and shit. It's all public. So it's all out there as a
Right, as a mystery, as a Chase and Shep mystery.
shrug.
Shrug, solve it yourself.
Who knows what I'm talking about? I could be making all this up.
Right.
Very well should.
We're
It
not.
could just be. It could be a shoot. You never know.
You know,
And a shoot is a wrestling term for a work.
well, it's a good mental health Monday.
It's been a great one, man. We've had some funny stories about shitting yourself, being prepared.
I've learned a lot. I need
Being
to be,
prepared as fuck.
I need to be more prepared.
Well, maybe if nothing, maybe this has just been a distraction for you from your everyday mundane shit. Who knows? I've said and a lot tonight. That's just what you get over here.
Yeah, and if you're stranded in a ditch with a case of the ditch shits right now, hopefully you're prepared.
Hopefully you got some wipes on you.
And if you're not, hopefully you learned a lot tonight. So
I wonder if you used a wipe outside in this weather right now, like a wet wipe.
No doubt.
Yeah.
No,
especially if you're a dude, because we got some danglers down there, so it definitely freezes some hairs. That would hurt.
What a way.
So be careful out there. Maybe you got some aloe, rub it on you and you get inside.
This is a way to end Mental Health Monday. Well, don't worry, for those of you trapped in the ditch, they'll be there
for your health.
For
your health. But like on the real, I don't know, man. Like I hope nobody's watching us in the ditch right now. If you are, hang up, call tow truck or 911 or something.
They probably. I like to think that if they are watching us, they've already called the tow truck and they're like killing time. That's why they've got a case of the ditch shits, because they've been waiting for the plow. Anyway,
I can't wait for the day. I can't wait for the day that we finally start getting to make shorts and stuff, so we can make like a short of having ditch shits. Going like,
I'm gonna hit up Rio, be like, "We've got it. We've got the big thing. Ditch shits. Hear me out. Hear me out."
It even like makes sense when you say it out loud. Ditch shit.
I get it. I understand.
I gotta take a ditch shit. Oh,
there's gonna be a whole Johnny Cash single, ditch shit. Anyways, what a shitty way to end the show. Mental Health Mondays. It's the Chase and Shep show. We'll see.
Stay warm, stay safe. Make sure you turn the water on so your pipes don't fucking freeze, guys. All right, you don't want no freezy pipes in the house.
Yeah. Be prepared.
Subscribe to us. We might give you some more pro tips.
Right.
Maybe we won't. Maybe we will. You'll just have to show up. Wednesday, we don't have anything prepared, so you know what?
Get prepared.
Maybe
advice. Be prepared for Wednesday.
Yeah. We'll see.
That'll do it.
All right, smooches.